Jerry, Sally, and Annie are sitting at an outdoor cafe enjoying lunch.
Isn't John going to join us?
Well, when I called him, he'd already gone out to lunch.
Is he working on that divorce case now?
Yeah, I guess.
How's it going?
Well, actually, it's a little messy. He's representing the man, and the woman is a little ticked off.
Has this guy got another chick?
His secretary. Original, huh?
Why do guys always fall in love with their secretaries?
How much time do you have? The reasons are as many and varied as the guys doing it. My theory is that unless the secretary is actively pursuing the man, and I have seen that happen, the main reason comes down to propinquity. It means falling for someone simply because the two of you are in the same place at the same time day after day. Basically, he develops interest because she's there in front of his face even more than his wife usually is.
Well, I don't know about the guys, but as far as the secretaries are concerned, I think it's because they see them in a very strong and decision-making role, and then the wife sees the entire man, good and bad.
Well, there's one thing that does protect the wives.
What?
A lot of secretaries are real ugly.
Oh, well, then there's nothing to worry about since Angela is Wait.
Jerry, beauty is only skin deep.
But ugly goes all the way to the bone.
Flip Wilson and several other comedians popularized that saying in the 60s, but the expression has been around since 1824. At least that's the first time it was used in print that we've found. Sally excuses herself to go wash her hands.
Oh, there's John.
With his secretary, don't say a word.
Why shouldn't I say a word?
Well, what were we just talking about? Men and their secretaries. John's a man and Angela's his secretary.
And what are you?
Suspicious.
Oh, Jerry, you're so silly.
Is he having lunch with a client? Is he held up late at the office?
You're jumping to so many conclusions.
Whatever happens, don't say anything to Sally. We gotta protect her.
Protect her from what? They both know John could never get away with something like that because Sally can read his mind. He knows his life is an open book. There's also the little factor that he's crazy in love with Sally. Even so, Annie is already caught up in Jerry's imaginings.
World's greatest husband.
Right.
Sally, no matter whatever happens, I will always be your friend.
What's going to happen?
Nothing. We're going to order lunch.
Jerry is the world champion at saying nothing in such a way that it makes you nervous.
Love it.
I love her.
Yeah.
Love her.
The green.
No, the white.
The green.
The white.
The green or nothing.
The white. Or nothing.
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 I'm making a boy.
That was real-life husband and wife comedy team Charlie Brill and Mitzi McCall. They did some television, but mainly worked the comedy club circuit. Later on, they became fixtures on several game shows. At last report, they're retired and enjoying life together. More power to them, even without a lamp.
Hi, Angela.
Hi, Jerry. How are you today? Isn't it a beautiful day?
It's beautiful. How are you?
I'm just super fine.
Well,
Well, what?
ain't you gonna insult me?
No, I don't think so, Jerry. I just feel too good.
How come?
Well, I'm working on a project. It's just going so well.
Naturally, Jerry thinks John is the project.
You like John?
John's fantastic.
Well, I'm his brother.
Well, nature's full of tricks.
The problem is, so do some other people, including Miss Kay, Angela's boss.
I hope work isn't interfering with your social life.
Work's a little slow at the moment.
Did you finish all that filing I gave you?
Oh, slow moments past. You can go in now. John's free.
John is not free.
A word about your tardiness, Angela. Twice this week.
Won't happen again.
Not like you, Angela. I've always held you up as an example to the other girls. Now, I've got a busy office to run, and we must all pull our oar.
I beg pardon?
Our oar?
Sorry, Miss Kay, but when you say our or like that, it sounds like you got tongue-tied.
John, I'm your brother.
Jerry, anything that starts with "I'm your brother" has no place in a busy day.
I thought we could talk about Angela.
Jerry, you got a million other girls. If Angela won't play, try somebody else.
It isn't Angela and me I'm thinking about.
Maybe Angela's tied up with someone else, huh?
But should she be?
Maybe that's Angela's business.
John, I'm your brother.
Jerry, you already said that. Now, let me get some work done, please.
Not with Jerry there you won't, because he'll hem and haw around for the next hour and ultimately tell you not a blasted thing.
Have you had a chance to check over the Henderson contract?
Henderson, I don't think I have that one, sir.
I gave it to Angela yesterday to duplicate a copy for you.
Well, she hasn't gotten to it yet.
What's to get to? You stick it in a machine, it comes out.
I'll certainly check on it, sir.
Never mind, it's too late now. What is the matter with Angela lately?
Maybe she's having an off day.
Lately isn't a day.
She's a very good worker, sir.
She used to be. Angela!
While he's trying to figure out what's wrong with Angela, John doesn't have time to figure out what's wrong with Jerry.
John, Sally's working late tonight. Why don't you and me go have a couple beers?
I'm sorry, I can't, Jerry. I gotta have a drink with Angela.
Boy, you sure ain't hiding it.
Jerry, please leave.
Okay, I'll go see Sally.
Give her my love.
Speak for yourself, John.
If he had said that in wombat language, it probably would have made more sense. John is brushing it all off as Jerry being Jerry. That night, Jerry drives Sally home. To her surprise, John isn't there yet.
Well, after a hard day's lawyering, he probably wants to go somewhere with somebody and relax. Maybe he's having a drink with a co-worker. That don't mean he's fooling around.
I'm glad you cleared that up.
Especially since the subject has never come up before.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I'm sorry it's late. I didn't realize.
Oh, what kept you? You on a case?
No. I was having a really big date. Took Angela out for a drink.
Well, that's just a real pleasant co-worker. She probably needed a friendly shoulder to cry on.
Yes, I think you're right.
Well, that could be his. You'd need chemical analysis to be sure.
No, Jerry, that's Angela's. I was helping her study for an exam.
If he's doing the naughty with Angela, he's sure not trying to hide it. Let's clear the air right now.
What kind of exam?
Oh, you know Angela, honey. Every once in a while she gets worried she's not making enough progress at the office, so she starts planning her getaway, right?
I'll buy that. You buy that, Sally?
I'll buy that chair.
Once she thought she wanted to become a veterinarian. Then she got into welding. Now she's into real estate.
Perfectly logical.
Well, what's the sense if she never makes the move?
No, this time she says she's going to. Meanwhile, I've been helping her. She's kind of worried about her real estate laws, so I've been helping her sort of on the side.
That also explains why her work has been slipping. She's had this exam on her mind. And it's not hard to sort out why they're being so secretive about it.
He always was a good sport.
They found out about it at the office. They'd probably fire her before she's ready to quit.
I'll buy that, right, Sal?
Right, Jerry.
Anyway, the exam's this Friday, and that'll be that.
You buy that chair?
I'll buy it.
We're learning a lot about Angela this episode. Not only is she smart, funny, quick-witted, and very good at what she does, when it comes to career stuff, she's a bit of a flake. I'm just glad Jerry buys it. I don't know what we would do if he didn't. Sally says, now that we've taken care of that, I'll make dinner.
After we had a few drinks, Angie got kind of hungry, and she ordered some appetizers and little Chinese things. I kept nibbling off her plate. So, to tell you the truth, I'm sort of full.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyway, why don't you and Jerry go on ahead? I'm going to go upstairs and take a shower.
I guess he's really not hungry.
Well, you know how it is with that Chinese food. Everybody nibbles on everybody else's.
As long as they know they have permission. When I lived in Wyoming, I did computer work with a combination shop and internet provider. My co-worker Paul and I would go to lunch every day. Paul was one of those ultra skinny guys who wouldn't be interested in eating if it wasn't essential to stay alive. Every day we'd go to a fast food place and order the same things. Then we'd sit down at a table and start talking, whereupon he would begin nibbling at my fries. He didn't ask the first time, but I didn't care. After that first time, when we sat down, I would turn the fry container so we could both pull from it, and we lived happily ever after. I should also let Sally know they were French fries, not Chinese fries.
You know your brother's really bananas.
I know that. What banana are you talking about?
Well, he's under the impression that you and Angela are having a thing.
You're kidding.
know, and in his usual way, by trying to hide it, he might as well take out an ad. It might interest you to know that he wishes to remain my friend no matter what.
That is really funny. I mean, as if I could hide anything from you, right?
Just to prove it, and to find some way to cram the basic premise of the show into the show, he'll start remembering.
Rita Farragut, at the age of 9. She was mature for her age, and you weren't. How sad.
At 9, nobody is mature, John. How about another one?
Ah, Marjorie Colander.
Marge? Why, you little dickens.
That's the thing. Those were all before he met Sally. Since he met Sally, they pretty well don't exist anymore. She's it.
Right on up to Angela.
I don't get anything on Angela. I draw a complete blank.
Hey.
What?
Well, that gives me a green light with Angela.
Oh, you think?
Yeah. You know what?
What? Yeah, either you're gonna dry off or I'm gonna get wet.
She gets nothing about Angela because there's nothing to get. He respects Angela, he likes her, and he depends on her a lot. I can't imagine what his office would be like without her to run things. And she probably doesn't like to get wet.
I'm getting funny looks. You didn't tell anybody.
At the office? Of course not. Believe me, nobody suspects.
Correction, John. Everybody suspects.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Clyde. Miss Kate.
Naturally, they won't say anything to John or Sally. They'll just keep whispering behind their backs.
It's called the rumor mill. Called the rumor mill.
Well, Angela, today is the big day.
Right.
Don't be nervous now. You're going to pass that exam with flying colors.
All right. Well, whatever happens, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, Jerry's in your office.
At this hour? What's he doing awake?
Don't know. Must be pretty serious.
Oh?
Yeah, he didn't even make a pass at me.
Jerry is finally coming out and telling John to stop this fling with Angela. The fact that he has a perfectly good explanation for the time they've spent together, the fact that Sally has no problem with it, and if something were going on, she'd know. Jerry has a lot of trouble putting things like that together and coming up with the right answer.
John?
Yes, Angela?
Sally's here.
With the file that got wet in the shower.
With the file that got wet in the shower.
He'll know what I mean.
You'll know what she means.
Angela, tell her I'll be right out.
John.
Jerry, now
John.
come on.
John, you were my rock. You and Sally had the only marriage I thought worked.
And now it's unemployed?
You want to kid around, you want to talk serious?
I want to get around.
Why not? This whole line of thought is ludicrous. Sally can read his mind. If something were going on, doesn't he think she would know it?
So,
Good morning, Angela. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mrs. Burton.
Mrs. Burton.
Hi.
Good morning, Mrs. Burton.
Good morning.
Sally, I've been goofing up on my work a little because of the late hours studying. I better watch my step. Would you mind just sitting over there and not conversing?
Oh, sure. I guess it would look better if you were working.
But nobody's really paying attention to Angela with Sally there.
How are you, Sally?
Oh, hi, Miss Kay.
I mean, how are you really?
I'm really fine.
That's great. Stiff upper lip.
I've heard that expression all my life, and I still don't know what it's supposed to imply. If you've ever tried to take it literally, you know how dumb it makes you feel. It originated with the Spartans, and later on the British adopted it to mean maintaining a stoic attitude in the face of adversity. That's all well and good, but it still doesn't explain why my upper lip has anything to do with anything. And are we just going to ignore the lower lip, leave it hanging out there all by itself with nothing to do? That seems a little cruel.
Jerry, whatever gave you this weird idea?
John, this is your brother.
Whatever gave my brother this weird idea.
Obvioso, pal, and you better cool it before you ruin your marriage.
I should stop this mad, passionate love affair with Angela.
Yeah, just consider it great fun, but just one of those things.
One of those bells that now and then ring, huh?
There's a lot of truth in music.
He could explain to Jerry that it's easy to stop something that isn't happening, but that might be a little too complex for Jerry.
John. Honey, you know, it's one thing for Jerry to have this crazy idea about you and Angela, but I'm beginning to think it's a very popular notion around the office.
Oh, no, don't be silly.
Angela? Angela, I have been buzzing for a line for the past 5 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have accidentally turned it off.
Well, would you accidentally please turn it on again or go and work for the White House?
I'd be interested to know how he knows what the White House switchboard is like. I've never tried calling it, but in 1981, when I graduated college, I did send a graduation announcement to brand new President Reagan just for the heck of it. I got this cool card back with what appears to be a genuine signature. As you can see, I'm more impressed with it than I am with my diploma.
Oh, Sally, how are you?
Mr. Klein, I'm fine.
That's a good girl. John, I want to see you in my office right now.
People keep chucking her on the chin like that, and I'm waiting for her to hit them back. Klein says this thing with you and Angela has got to stop. John keeps insisting there is no thing.
John, I'm older than you.
Hail, Prince of the Obvious.
But I am not so old that I have forgotten what it's like to have ants in your pants.
Ants in my pants?
Well, maybe I'm older than I thought.
He starts talking about a young man with all the potential in the world, blah, blah, blah.
You let that man lose his head over some bright and pretty girl?
I have not lost my head, and I do not have ants in my pants.
Now, I'm talking about myself. Lucy Niemeyer. Boy, there was a secretary. Luckily for me, I had an employer who was wise and understanding and who offered me help. Mrs. Basil.
Sir.
Just as I, in my turn, am offering you that same help now.
He won't listen to John. He's tried and convicted him without even letting him know what the charges were.
Mr. Klein, you are mistaken.
If there is any other explanation, I'd be happy to hear it.
There is. But I can't tell you.
In that case, I am letting Angela go at the end of the week.
Sir, that is so unfair.
Now John is furious. He says, it is not true. Klein isn't even hearing him.
John, this will all be completely forgotten someday. In fact, you'll thank me for it in the end. Believe me.
Mr. Klein, believe me, I will never thank you for doing this.
I thanked Mrs. Basil.
You were guilty.
Whereas John is not. Will he catch that?
Yeah. All right, John. That'll be all.
No, he won't catch that. He's busy thinking he needs to go spend some time in the water closet.
All right, darling. We'll take the green.
Oh, no, sweetheart. Come on. You like the white.
Doesn't matter what I like. I'm doing this to please you. We'll take the green.
We'll take the white.
Green.
White or nothing.
Green or nothing.
Nothing.
Somebody needs to explain to our writers that repeating a joke and simply reversing the colors doesn't make it funny again. John and Sally have a serious discussion about the Angela situation, and they're agreed.
In that case, sir, I'm afraid I'm going to have to resign. In protest.
Have you taken Sally into consideration on any of this?
Angela, would you have Sally come into Mr. Klein's office, please?
Sally will speak for herself if it's all the same to you.
Sally, do you know what your husband just said to me?
Yes.
You have no idea, dude.
And do you know why he's doing it?
Because there are some people around here who are under the impression that Angela and he are carrying on.
And you don't believe that?
Of course not.
Therefore, you support him in his gesture.
I believe she's made that clear enough that even a stuffy lawyer should understand it.
Mr. Klein, every school kid knows the principle of our law, which is we're all presumed innocent until proven guilty. Now, I would think a lawyer would believe in that even more than the rest of us.
True, lawyers are human beings as well, but sometimes they do make judgments.
And being human, then those judgments can be wrong.
Am I wrong, Sally? I mean, am I really wrong?
Mr. Klein? Excuse me, you wanted the Gordon file?
Fine.
Are you ready to go to lunch?
Yeah, but I got a lot of work piled up. Let's go right now.
Okay, well, I've said all I can here.
Sally, you haven't answered my question yet.
Yes, I have. Bye, honey.
Bye, honey.
The fact that it went over your head is your problem, not hers. They have a lunch to get to.
Excuse me, I just wanted to double check your plans for the end of the week.
Oh, well, you can forget about that, Miss Kay. I've changed my mind.
There's a good lawyer. Let us find you a biscuit. Disappointing Miss Kay is a perk.
Sounds great, kid. Thanks. I bet you never thought I could get Angela to go out with me.
I never thought you could get Angela to go out with you. But I'm celebrating tonight.
Now that you passed the exam, you still gonna leave the firm?
No, I've decided being a realtor isn't for me. At this time. It might stand me in good stead later.
John can't say he wasn't warned. I don't think anybody in the office is disappointed that she's staying.
Besides, at night she's in a whole new bag.
Yeah, Jerry's convinced me I've got a bigger talent elsewhere.
You did that, Jerry.
Yeah, well, it's only what any good friend would do. You buy that, Sal?
I buy that, Jerry.
I don't suppose you're gonna tell us what it is.
What is?
This hidden talent of Angela's.
Wait and see.
Okay, I can only think of two kinds of talent that Jerry might discover, and I'm sure Angela isn't interested in one of them. But the other one is pretty obvious.
1, 2, 1.
She plays jazz trombone. And in case anybody's wondering, yes, I have played trombone. I tried multiple searches to find out if Stephanie Edwards does actually play, but I couldn't find anything. So I trust my eyes. Watching the movements of that slide, I have to conclude that just like Jack Sheldon / Jerry, she's really playing it. They formed a combo called the Not Doing It's and were very successful. Angela felt that she had finally found her niche, and Jerry lived in hope of changing the band's name someday. Sitting in Canadians popular pop husband and wife. Come on.